Hi Internet. Recently I was playing around with Unity's Tilemap system and I found out that you could place tiles with code. Doesn't sound very exciting, but stay with me. So I decided to make a small Minecraft 2D replica, demonstrating this cool feature. You can take a look at the result on itch.io, link is in the description. I will do a demo of the code, focusing mainly on the two main features. I went a bit on a tangent, but it was surprisingly simple to get it up and running. I also wanted to try my hand at exporting it as a WebGL. I found that I messed up the UI a bit, but I think the code and the general game worked out very well. So without further ado, let's get started. I will get my dad to help me introduce the game. He is trying to dumb down a bit, which is surprisingly easy for him. Hey Dad, what do you say?
Dumb down. Gosh.
But
That's so kind. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what you got here. So is this your game? Explain this game to us.
Well, it's a simple Minecraft replica. The textures are actual Minecraft textures, so they could actually be played in 3D Minecraft.
So you've got the Quadra Pack. What does that mean?
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool little texture pack I downloaded from Planet Minecraft. And if you want to download that pack for yourself, then the link is in the description.
And you credited the fantastic designer, I presume?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I see that, so you've got, can you describe all the actual particular features of the game?
So the first feature is, of course, the play movement, very basic with the little animation. The second feature is a really nice feature, probably the most important feature of the game, where you can destroy blocks.
Okay. Going back to the character, the movements.
Yep.
You can.
We have the jump. We have left and right.
Okay.
A and D keys and the arrow keys.
I see that you've changed Alex into a boy. Does Alex know that?
Yes, because the side texture of Alex doesn't have their long hair, then yeah, it is a bit of a downside.
Though you have long hair and I can't call you a girl. So yeah, I suppose, yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? Anyway. Okay, so you got the character controls. What else can you do? Can you do a somersault?
Not yet.
Not yet? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, what else can you do? I see there's two main features of this game.
Yes, there's a breaking, of course, and if you notice down here, we have inventory.
Oh, okay, so you got an inventory system. What is an inventory system? What's it used for in Minecraft?
Well, it's just our storage.
What?
It's just our storage system.
Okay.
So that's where we can store all our items. So as you see, I mined 6 logs and 10 leaves. And if we got another leaf, 11 leaves. We have different items, so we can collect stuff. And also, if we got E, first of all, you may notice a lot more inventory slots. And here we've got a crafting system.
Okay, where the arrow is. Okay.
So if we just click on it, as you see down below, there's a pop-up and that says 1 log, which is how much it uses.
Okay, great.
So if we just craft it a bit, it will disappear because we don't have enough logs. But if you look here, we got 4 planks.
Okay. And you can tunnel, you can create caves, you can create...
yeah, you can mine down.
Whoa, that's scary.
It's very fast because there's no speed. It's instant mine currently. Like, you can expand on it, but yeah, this is just a little demo. So
okay, cool. How many particular block types do you have?
Quite a few. Not all of them are actually you able to obtain, because a few of them I haven't added crafting recipes or they don't appear in the world. So I think there's mossy cobblestone or something that you can't craft.
Okay, and I noticed showing you demoed this earlier that you could fall right through the earth and that you...
I actually managed to make a way where it's quite hard. So originally at the start of the project, you could just do something like this and you'd build on top and you'd fall through the world. However, now you can't because you can't build on your player. It's because I probably could fix this very easily. If we just go up, there's actually an edge of the world. It's a very big world, but we're close to the edge.
And you said that earlier to me that this was a self-creating world. What do you call it? As world generation.
Yes, it has world generation. So
what does that actually mean to the layman?
Essentially, a Tilemap system, the nice thing about it is you can draw stuff. However, with this, I want custom worlds, and it's quite time consuming to actually do every single block. And so instead, I decided to make a little world generation. So it randomly generates a new world with a seed.
Okay, interesting. And could you build a little quick house, or what can you do with this thing? What's the point of this game? Obviously, to demonstrate those two features and to help people, because I know that you will be demonstrating some of the code. There's two features like the perhaps not the character player, because pretty much everyone can do that, but the Tilemap stuff and what's the other thing? The inventory system, which is quite tricky, and also the world generation system. Will you be doing that, or just two of the main features?
The world generation system is very alike to the actual just placing and breaking system. Essentially, we're looping through each world tile, and I'm using a thing called Perlin Noise 2D, which gives us our bumps, so we don't just have this boring flat world. It actually goes up and down.
Sounds like a fish. Anyway, okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. So you're going to do a demonstration quickly of how you build stuff?
Okay, let's get a few logs and just clear this. We have a nice little flat area. Okay.
And I see you got that little transparent block.
Yes, this is our highlight block, just to show where our cursor is. Otherwise, it would be extremely hard to figure out what we're actually breaking.
And we're currently viewing this on Etch right now.
Yes, we currently
as a WebGL.
Yeah, and when you see this video, then it will be up, so you can play it on WebGL.
Okay. Okay, and will you build something quickly?
Okay. Let's just do that.
Okay, what are we going to build?
Let's just build a tiny little house. Oh, and also we have a stone type, so we have cobblestone. I'm not going to craft that, but there we go. We have a microscopic little house. The downside is we have no doors, so this is the best we'll have to do currently, but yeah.
I suppose if you went off the Earth, or went off the world, Earth, you could do some really nice tunnels. So go off the Earth, the world quickly, jump off.
Yep.
And then you make yourself some.
So if you jump off the Earth, you will the world.
Sorry, I
brainwashed me.
I brainwashed you there.
Of course it will. There's no boundaries, so you can literally.
Oh, because the world generation, will this constantly go now, or will it stop?
What will happen is you can. The world generation isn't infinite generation. It builds a relatively big world, so it's quite far.
Okay, well now you can build some bridges and stuff. Do some nice bridges.
Got a few nice materials.
Yeah, cool. And then you can walk. He's basically off the world right now, isn't he?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be able to do this.
Let's go down vertically quickly.
Yep.
Go vertically down so you can.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I know. No, not that.
Oh, we ran out of materials and.
Dear me. Okay, so that's the end of it.
It's until it's.
Okay.
The camera starts being funky. We are going nowhere with this, so why don't we do a time lapse to really demonstrate the game's capabilities? So let's get my little sister to play the game to see what she does with it.
Okay,
Yep. Okay, so gathering some resources now.
Yeah, I think she's doing quite well there. She's never played this game before, and she's only 7 years old. She's doing well. And the whole point of this project is to maybe do a course to understand how quick and simple it is to build a game, right? Using the Tilemap system and the inventory system, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you're going to show that in the course later on.
So after this, we're going to be doing in coding. We're going to be showing you how to do the tilemap system, the placing system of the tilemaps. It's exactly what we have in this game.
Yeah, I see she's going for it. She seems to love going up and down and creating caves.
Yeah.
It's funny. But she does quite well. So what's the point of the game? Maybe you can explain to us. So you actually, the infantry system works, so you have to break blocks to have blocks to build?
So originally I was thinking maybe I'd do what I did to my latest game, ZX, where ZX, my latest game, which is a bit more complex than this obviously, because it's 3D, this is actually a more complex inventory system than my ZX, because it actually has a count, so you must actually get blocks to place in the game. So it's more like proper Minecraft.
So I mean, you have to break to create.
Yeah, you don't get infinite blocks.
So you have to like literally mine blocks to. That's why you ran out initially on the
yeah. There's a reason. I think another reason, by the way, when we fell is because our little cursor wasn't catching up because the update is not fast enough. But yeah.
Whoa! What happened there?
Bean was jumping. It seems.
Is that what it does when it jumps? Oh no, I think that's just the time lapse. It just does a weird thing.
Bean's just jumping a lot, and it's a time lapse. So
she's really going for it. She loves caving.
I did notice that.
It's quite interesting. And this is a quick time lapse. So if you want to fast forward to the next section for the coding, right? Yeah. And I think this is only about 3 minutes long, but you pretty much get the gist of the game, what you can do. Okay, so what the devil is this thing?
Okay, so it's very simplistic, but this is actually probably the most important part of the game. So if we right-click...
is this the tile mapping system?
Yes, this is how we actually place it. So our Minecraft 2D one is a tad more advanced, where not advanced, it's simple still, but I have rules for the tiles, so you can't place it in the air. However, this project doesn't have that. I didn't include it because then we'd have to have the ground and yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of just an introduction to how you use the tile mapping system to build that simple game.
Yeah, this is probably the most important part. And what I love about tile map system is because no matter how many tiles you place, it's not going to be laggy. Because I'm pretty sure what they do is they render it in chunks.
Okay, so why don't you get to the coding part then? Do you anything else you want to discuss about the tile maps? I know you're going to just do two things. You're going to discuss the tile mapping in this video. Yeah. But the second video, maybe you'll go and talk about the inventory system. The inventory system's a lot more complex. Yeah.
The inventory system, in my latest game, ZX Bold, I actually used a very similar inventory system, even a simpler one because it didn't have count. So this is actually a more advanced inventory system than my ZX Bold.
Weird. That's strange, eh?
It is rather, even though this is a simpler game, there's more complex systems.
Anyway, okay, great. So you're going to basically demonstrate this right now in code. So you want to get going?
Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, we are in Unity now. So this is an empty scene. The only changes I've made is I've added my quadrille pack, which is the texture pack we're going to be using. If you want this pack, then just download it in the description. Right. I'm going to right click in my hierarchy and choose a 2D object, and I'm going to choose Tilemap, and I'm going to choose a rectangular. Right? You can name this if you want, but I'm not going to because it is fine. Next, I'm going to go window. I'm going to choose 2D, and I'm going to add a tile palette, which is a new window. Now, it will be free for now, so you can just move it around freely. However, if you move it, you can move it in certain positions, so I like to do something like that. In my assets, I'm going to make another folder, and I'm going to name this Tilemap. And inside that folder, I'm going to have another folder called Tiles. I'm going to make a new tile palette, and I'm going to name it Main, and I'm going to go Create. And it's automatically put it in my tile map. If it doesn't, then you just put it anyway, but it just put it in here for now. Okay, and we're just going to put it in our tile map. We're going to choose, and as you see, we have a prefab called Main. Next, we're going to go over to inside our Quadro pack. Now, because it's Minecraft, it will have a few unnecessary files for this. So you can delete them, but I'm just going to keep them. Inside assets, you're going to see Minecraft file. Inside Minecraft file, you're going to see a bunch of different files. We're going to go to textures, and we're going to choose a block texture. What's nice is they're all labeled nicely, because Minecraft texture packs have to for Minecraft to read it, but it's nicely labeled for us also. Right, I'm just going to choose a acacia plank, let's say. Okay, if we drag it in, okay, add it, and if we just go. Now we want to put this in my tilemap file, and we won't put it in tiles, and it should save it as acacia planks.assets. You can name this way if you want, but I'm going to keep it a descriptive name. Now we're going to go save, and you can draw it. However, this is not in play mode, so if we actually play it, we still can't actually draw. It's just there. Now this, you can stop here if this is all you want, if all you want is to draw it in the editor. However, like this is great for world building. However, it's not what we want. We want to build it in-game. So in our assets folder, we're going to create a new folder called scripts. Okay. Inside scripts, we're going to put in a script, and we're going to name this build system. Good. We're going to be making a 2D object, right? Sprites and square. And you'll notice what's really nice is it's the same scale. It's a bit offset though. So instead of moving the whole grid, which can cause big problems later on, we're going to make this an offset of 0.5. Whatever offset, I'm not sure what offset you have, but mine is basically 0.5. That's the default, unless you change the values. Right, I'll see you in your IDE. I'm using Visual Studio Code, but you can open whatever IDE you want, and I'll open build system. Okay, we are in the script. So the first thing I want to do is to be able to actually use our tile maps. We can't just, we need to go using, okay, and not that, okay, using Unity engine dot tile maps, and make sure it's tile maps, not tile map. Right, let's delete all the code and let's just make a public. By the way, this will be the actual tile you're placing, so it will be acacia planks, but if you're having like multiple different types of blocks, and then you'll have different scripts for holding all these files, or all these tiles. Right, let's make a public tile, okay, and let's just name it tile. Now, next I'm going to make a public tile map, which is actually what tile map we're drawing on, which will just be tile map there. And then we're going to have a public transform, and I'm going to call this highlight. Highlight. There we go. Okay. And this is going to be our little highlight block we made. Next, we're going to go update. Okay, we're going to go highlight. So highlight dot position is equal to, and you might not know of this namespace, it's called vector3 int. So I usually use vector3 because it's kind of like it's three floats in one in one type. But I'm using vector3 int because that's how tilemap's working. So you need that. Okay. Okay. Oops. Then we need to go there. Oops. There we go. So to int. And we're going to go and we need to put this in our camera, our input on mouse position. And we're going to go camera dot main. And if you have like a variable here that your camera just use that instead, but I'm going to go camera dot main dot screen, and camera dot main, by the way, gets the camera dot screen to world points. Okay, and in here we're going to have input dot mouse position. There we go, and that just sets its position. However, I found out we have a bit of a problem where, because the camera's position is offset by negative 10 meters on the z-axis, which is the depth, then we can't see our cursor, our little highlights. So what I do, we go highlight dot position is equal to a new vector3, and not our new vector3 int, just a vector3 normal one. And inside that, it's going to have highlight dot position, okay, highlight dot position dot x, and then minus it by 0.5 f for float. The reason why is because that offset we made, we need that throughout every time we move the cursor. Okay, dot y minus 0.5 f. Good. And then 0 for the z, so it doesn't get offset from the z. Okay. Next, we're going to have if input dot get key down. Okay, and we're going to have key code dot mouse 1. Now mouse 1 is right click, which is placing, but you can make it anything, which is placing is, and you can make it anything you want, but I'm just doing mouse 1. Okay, and then this is going to be place block, and then we go copy it, and then we're going to have else if, which is mouse 0, which is your primary mouse button. Mouse 1 is secondary. And this will be break. Right. Let's work on the actual methods that do that are place and break. We're going to have first a method called place. Okay. And it's going to input a tile, underscore tile, and that would be this tile. Right, the reason why I'm doing underscore tile instead of just tile is because I don't want to confuse the methods. Okay, it gets a bit confusing, you have to use this, and yeah, I just use underscore tile, or underscore whatever you named it. So we're going to have a vector3 int, okay, and it's going to be position, which is equal to tilemap, which is our tilemap here, dot world to cell. And that just gets, okay, wait, let's just put in highlight dot position, and this just converts a position, a float position, to an actual cell, which we can set. So now we got the position of where we want to do it. Now we go if tilemap, and because it's placing, we want to go dot get tile, and okay, in that position, and we want to check. So if it's null, we can only place it if it's null, which means there's nothing there. Because if there's something like grass in a way, then it'll just overwrite it, and we don't want that. So we're going to do tilemap dot set tile. Okay, we're going to give it a position, and we're going to give it our underscore tile. There. Semicolon. Now if we put in place here and put in our tile, good. Right, let's just check Unity to see how it's working so far. And before we go, I just forgot a semicolon. There we go. Right, I want to do a few things in here. First, replace square with highlight. Sorry. Now I'm going to make it black, and I'm going to change the A value, which is alpha, to a bit higher. Right, on our grid, by the way, you wouldn't want to do this on grid if you're doing something like my Minecraft 2D. You'd want to attach it to the player, just so it moves along with the player. Right, let's go add component, and let's add a build system component, and it has a few values. The first one, let's click that little round circle. We have our acacia planks tile. Next, we have our tile map. We can also choose that. Okay, that's this tile map here. And then we have our highlight, which we can just drag and drop in. There we go. Right, let's just play it and test it quick. As you see, it follows. Okay, and if we right click, it will place it. Now you may notice something. Unlike in my Minecraft 2D, in Minecraft 2D one you can drag and place. In this you have to right click for each individual block. Now if you like this, then that's fine, then you can just leave it. However, I'm not such a fan of it because it gets quite tiring having to right click and break. So I'm going to edit the code a bit. So get key down means you actually press it. However, if we replace it with get key, which runs on a kind of an update and it runs as long as you hold it, pressing it down. If now we save and check it, right, let's just run it. Okay, there we go. As you see, it has a drag effect, which is very nice. However, the downside to this is it's a bit more laggy. So if you're getting a bit of lag, then you might need to get rid of this. Right, now our biggest problem is we can place, but we can't delete. So let's add that method in. Right. So it's very similar. In fact, it's nearly the same. So I'm just going to copy our place method. I'm going to name it break. You can name whatever you want any of these functions except updates, but I'm going to name them place and break. Right, it's all similar, this. However, this one, we can't break air. And I'm going to make it not equal to null. You could just remove this entirely. But if you're like me and it has an inventory system, then you could just be breaking air and it would have problems. Right, also, we don't have to get our tile. We don't have to get anything because we're not placing something. We don't need the tile. We just need to destroy it. So we'll set it to null. Good. Oh, and just a bit of a tip, if you are planning on doing like an inventory system or you want to get the block you plan on using, use get tile because it will give you the actual tile which you can use for your inventory system. Right, let's go back to Unity. Oh, before that actually, let's properly call our function, probably quite important. Now let's go back to Unity. Right, if we press play now, we should be able to place stuff and break it. There we go. Okay, this is the end of this video. In the next video, I'll be making the more complex inventory system. I hope you'll find some value in this video and give me a like. Bye!